So my name is Glenn Dickie, and I am the export music producer for Sounds Australia, based in Sydney, originally from Melbourne. And our main purpose, the reason that we're set up, is to create networking and showcasing events for Australian artists and managers and labels at and around music conferences around the world, such as South by Southwest or CMJ, The Great Escape, Mid-Em, Americana, to name a few. I started at about 2 years old when I took the pots and pans out of mum's cupboard in the kitchen, and I started hitting them with the wooden spoon. So that's where I think I started, and since then I guess I had just had an interest in music. I was a member of the KZ Koala Club in Melbourne as a child. And then as I got older, movies like Beat Street and a lot of the hip hop movies that were out at the time got me interested in things like hip hop. I discovered Iron Maiden and a lot of those metal bands in my when I was in primary school as well. So I had a healthy dose of hip hop and metal, I guess, for a long period. And then as I got older, I started playing in bands probably when I was about 12 or 13, had my first drum kit at that age, started playing in a lot of punk bands. Nirvana came around, changed the whole scene and changed the way that we all kind of looked at music. I bought another drum kit instead of buying turntables, so I was on a trajectory of playing music rather than DJing. And what else? What else have I done? Then I guess while I was playing, I've always played music ever since that time. I've always been in bands, not so much now with all the travelling. And I started working at HMV, just managing, working in retail there. Ended up being a assistant manager there. Then I was always wanted to work at a record label. My dad was a sales rep, so I wanted to be a sales rep at a record label. Back in those days, you still travel around the country with your box of CDs, like selling in the music. So I eventually got a job at EMI. At the same time, tried to run a couple of clubs as well. While I was working at EMI, doing the Aussie Barbecue, I also had a show on Triple R. So I had a weekly show on Triple R as well. So that was another part of the musical journey too, community radio. Still playing music. Then eventually in 2003, while I was at EMI, I started the Aussie Barbecue with a friend of mine, Mary Mikalakos, in Melbourne, and we kept on doing that over years and years and years because people just kept on asking us to do it. Then eventually Sounds Australia came on board in 2009. We had set up a company called Stage Mothers. We worked alongside Sounds Australia at that stage, so I was doing EMI and Stage Mothers, working alongside Sounds Australia. Then in 2013, I was made redundant from EMI once Universal took over, and I was offered the job that I currently have here at Sounds Australia. So from pots and pans to Sounds Australia, pretty much.